All right. So you finally heard about all the upheavals going in the outside world and all the fluctuation happening around cryptocurrency. This has piqued your interest and you would finally like to know what is cryptocurrency. Well, you've come to the right place. I am AB. Thank you very much for watching this video. And in this video, I'm going to try and simplify what cryptocurrency is and how does it work. And most importantly, whether you should or should not invest in cryptocurrency. So keep watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel and click on the notification icon so that you're notified every time I post new videos for you. Before we get into cryptocurrency, let's talk about currency per se. This is the evolution of human civilization. Currency kind of evolved with the evolution of human civilization. So initially, obviously, we all know there was only barter system. So if you wanted to buy something, or if you wanted, let's say, a dozen eggs, you got it in exchange of, let's say, a bag of wheat. And then eventually you started having coins being minted and officially recognized as a currency. Then came in the banking system with third parties, authorities, governments actually regulating your money and the value of the currency. Now, eventually we also had paper currency, and now we have debit cards, credit cards, digital wallets like Google Pay, PayPal. The central point of the whole thing is that transactions are still being regularized and authorized by these banks and regulators. And if you want to make payment to anybody, it still has to go through a route which involves these regulators and authorities and the banks. The concept of cryptocurrency probably came into being around 2008. Around the economic crash and the recession that followed it. Suddenly people started realizing banks are not really working for you, but they work for themselves. Banks are doing things that are not only detrimental for the people but the economy as a whole. This suddenly opened the eyes of a lot of people and they started not believing in the banking system anymore. A group of computer programmers / just a person maybe named Satoshi Nakamoto actually came up with this concept of Bitcoin. Now the whole premise of this Bitcoin was that why do I need a government or a bank or a regulator to actually have any kind of involvement when I have to pay somebody? So why can't I pay directly to somebody and not have an intervention from these regulators? Why can't I have a direct line of payment which doesn't involve these banks? The idea was to create a digital currency which does not involve any third party or intervention from any banks. So this is where the blockchain technology was created to carry out transactions for Bitcoins. Now the next obvious question is, what is blockchain technology? Very simply put, blockchain technology is block of uneditable information that is connected and linked together through a computer network system. As humans, we give out incorrect information, we lie, we manipulate. So this system is built to take out the human error completely out of these transactions and build on a digital trust which goes beyond just simple human trust. This is like a digital ledger, a spreadsheet which is published publicly and everyone can see it. And the best part about the whole thing is that once some information is imprinted on it, it cannot be changed. So you are able to trace and track every little transaction that happens on this. The general perception is that you can make transactions which are actually untraceable, which is absolutely far from the truth because every transaction can be traced back. And unlike what most people think, this cannot be a playground for money laundering or terrorist transactions because you can trace down to the very root of where it came from. So that was a very basic explanation of what blockchain technology is. Now let's go beyond blockchain and look at what cryptocurrency is. So cryptocurrencies are digital or virtual form of currencies, and there can only be a certain number of currencies or units that can be actually produced. For example, bitcoins, you can only have about 21 million bitcoins ever produced. After that, there will be no more bitcoins that will be produced. This is going to happen in 2140, so you still have time and an opportunity to invest if you want to get into bitcoins. Because of the use of blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies are secure, independent of government intervention. Well, which is something which is changing right now because the government is taking note of what is happening and they're applying rules and regulations even to cryptocurrencies now. What makes cryptocurrencies secure is the use of cryptography, which is a method of encrypting and decrypting secure communication, which makes it almost impossible to be hacked by someone. Unlike your bank account or your digital payment methods like your credit card or debit card. The other important thing about cryptocurrency is the speed of transaction, especially international transaction, which is extremely fast and there is almost no transaction cost involved. Because this is a direct transaction between two parties, it doesn't really involve any regulators or banks, and therefore the process becomes a lot faster and you don't really have the various fees that you have to pay if it were to go through these various checkpoints that normally happen when you are transacting through banks. This makes the transaction much cheaper and faster. But you also have to bear in mind that unlike other currencies like dollars and pounds, this is not recognized as a currency by governments across the world. So you might have difficulties in terms of actually buying stuff when you're using cryptocurrencies. In spite of that, because of the various benefits associated with cryptocurrency, the demand for cryptocurrency is on the rise, and it is estimated that by 2030, almost 25% of all the currency is going to be cryptocurrency. My view is that the acceptance of cryptocurrency is just like any other currencies that we've had in our development of human civilization. So I can just imagine that once when there was barter system, when they came up with coins, metal coins, people must have been like, what, really, metal coins? I can just get milk for eggs. I don't have to give or take metal coins for that. But eventually people accepted that, and that, I'm sure, is exactly what happened when they came up with paper currency. So from gold coins and silver coins, suddenly you had paper which had a value, which were used as currency, and I'm sure people had reluctance to actually accept paper as a form of currency. And that's exactly what happened with digital cards like credit cards and debit cards. But eventually people start accepting it and becomes a form of your regular life. And now obviously we all use paper currency, we all use debit card and credit cards. Now we've started using digital wallets, and that is exactly what the story is going to be for cryptocurrency as well. That is my personal opinion on that. I think it is human nature to resist change and not accept something that you don't really understand. And I think it's just a matter of time before cryptocurrency also becomes an accepted form of currency across the world. People who invested in cryptocurrency right at the very beginning, investing in something like bitcoins, and they've actually kept those bitcoins, they've made a killing and they have actually reaped huge benefits of that. This is just like investing in new technology. For example, I think it was during the 80s or the 90s of the last century that internet and internet related companies came into being, and people thought, there's no real future for these kind of companies. But people who were pioneers and visionaries actually saw that there's huge potential in investing in these companies, and whoever has invested that and have kept their stocks and shares, now we all know they are millionaires. And that is exactly also true about people who invested in cryptocurrencies at the beginning. So these are cryptocurrency millionaires. Some of them are billionaires as well. If you simply look at the value of Bitcoin, which is the biggest cryptocurrency out there now, as of today, it is something like 26,000 pounds, which is way below what it was a few weeks back. So you see a lot of fluctuation in the pricing of these, and you have to be really smart while investing in that. But people who've invested at a much lower level, for example, people who invested when the Bitcoin was at the cost of about, let's say, £1,000, imagine from £1,000 to 26,000 pounds. That's a huge amount of profit that they've gained. Because of interest of institutional investors, the value of cryptocurrency is going to be comparatively stable, and it's not going to be affected by something like a recession. If there is going to be a correction in the price, it's purely going to be because of what is happening within that market. Also, considering that there is only a certain amount of currency that will ever exist, there is a huge amount of demand for this. So the demand is surpassing the supply, and therefore you see a surge in the value of the currency. Some of the reasons for more interest in these bitcoins is the ease with which you can buy and sell these coins, and also we've seen an increasing acceptance in terms of what you can buy with these coins now. So a lot of people are accepting bitcoins or cryptocurrency as a currency to buy and sell their products. Bitcoin is also listed on NASDAQ, which adds to the authenticity of cryptocurrencies. You need to be really careful while investing into cryptocurrencies, because what is worth thousands today could be worth almost nothing tomorrow. There have been so many cases of these cryptocurrencies cropping up in the market, and people investing their life savings in these cryptocurrencies and absolutely losing everything. So if you have to invest into cryptocurrencies, be very wise, understand what you're investing in. If you don't understand, please take advice from experts about whether or not you should be buying. Is this the right time? Is this the right currency? Is this the right way of doing it? You also have to bear in mind that it still does not hold a legal status as a currency, just like maybe pounds or dollars. The UK Financial Conduct Authority has warned people that there is almost 100% chance of losing everything if you invest in cryptocurrency. As these currencies are not regulated by the government, there are no safety nets, there are no guarantees, and if there is a sharp and a massive decline in the price of the cryptocurrencies, you tend to lose everything, and the government is not going to interfere with this. So you always have to remember that there is no safety net involved here. So if you want to invest, please be very careful, please understand please take advice from experts. Anyway, these were my 2 pennies about what I think about cryptocurrency. I hope you found value in this. Please comment and let me know your thought about what you think is going to be the cryptocurrency of the future. Please like and subscribe to the channel and click on the notification icon so that you're notified every time I post new videos for you.